Have you seen sorry. You know, I'm not a pussy. I'll take 5 people in the ring. I'll fight until I'm half dead and bloody everywhere. And I'll actually do it and video it. But I feel, and 500 million, you know, 500 million mammals have just been killed. So I have to take a new perspective on life due to the grandeur of the number, and that, you know, it was not a human who did this, that it was the planet. It is, you know, climate change, people will blame it on, so on and so forth. But what you've got to realize is I'm talking at an even higher level. That, you know, the planet takes its nature from the universe, its orders from the universe, from the galaxy, from the universe, so on and so forth, from the central sun. But, you know, people are going to blame this on climate change. Yes, it's obviously got to do something to do with climate change. What I'm referring to is this top video. Let's check it out. Now, I can't play all the video because I'll get copyright, because people are ego. Raging wildfires spark mass relocation in Australia's New South Wales. I was born in Sydney, actually, Bankstown, where I lived for 1 year, thank God. Moved to Coffs Harbour, then to Holland for 3 years in Europe, and then back to Sunshine Coast, Queensland, and then to Gold Coast, and now I'm in Uruguay. So yeah, I'm Aussie, but this is beyond nationalistic pride. You're a human of humanity, and you're about to find this out via the apocalypse. It's here. Predicted, foretold for thousands and thousands of years by many people in many different fashions. It's here. The end of individual cultural human history. It's finished. It's done. It's the end. The robots are here. They're not coming. They're here. They're just gonna build from here. They're just gonna get more powerful. They'll automate themselves. Yes, all the stuff you know. It's not that video. I'm gonna talk about that soon, because it has, you know, far-reaching philosophical content. The idea of talking about robots and consciousness, and, you know, can robots become consciousness, and all this intelligence, and how we understand the universe. So I will be covering that. Anyway, that's not today. Amazing. So the cloud of smoke, I just watched this. The cloud of smoke is wider than Europe. Yes, the European, you know, many nations, it's not a continent exactly, but Europe, you all know Europe. The smoke from these 200 fires in between, I think, Victoria and Sydney, apparently. So it's like the southern part of Australia, southeast, and 200 fires. The smoke cloud is wider than Europe. That's intense. I mean, we're all waiting for some, you know, super volcanic eruption to cloud out the sky and stuff, right? I think you all feel, it's dawned on, you know, anyone who is conscious that it's the end, or something spectacular is happening. It's the apocalypse. What is this? What's going on? And there's chaos throughout the world. I think it's all dawning upon all of you. So I'm going to take it upon myself, because it's my path, to speak a lot about this from now. So you should subscribe to this channel, because I'm going to be discussing what all this means in depth. You're not going to find what I'm going to say in videos like this. This video is like a video where I don't do any philosophy. I just say, look, it's here. Will you admit it yet? Because admittance is the first stage of enlightenment. It goes admittance, awakening, catharsis, transmutation, transcendence, and double compressed phi, so you get 2 enlightenment stages. So, and it's 7, the Christ number. You're going to see 7 come up so many times during the apocalypse. The apocalypse is from 2012 to 2089. That's 77 years. That's 7 11-year solar cycles. Because 7 is like the Christ number. I'm not religious. Jesus didn't come back, did he? Because he was a man, you moron. And he himself would have told you, I bet, to not follow another man. If he was still alive today, he would say that, I'm sure. Because yes, he was an intelligent guy. They wrote a big book called the Bible about him, which took them like 100 years, because they edited the shit out of it. Because it was, King James Version, 10 of them. However, many other versions. What's that called? Editing. Are you stupid? It's a book edited by men of nefarious nature. A king had the will to rule his will over another. That's family of dark. Your will over another. It's how family of dark act. 500 million with a B. 500 million mammals like the kangaroos, the koalas. That's the part that made me, a bit teary-eyed at the start of this video. The innocent lives that have to be lost, But like I said, this is giving me a more perspective on that this place is some kind of, like matrix, and you shouldn't have, yes, we compassion is a strong trait and all of that good stuff, but you've got to know when to use it, because, on my channel I make soulless human or spiritless human videos. Oh yeah, I'm sure it's a joke, yeah. You need a soul to be alive, Ben. Oh, do you now? Can you prove it? Can you come with anything more than that sentence, even another sentence? Because that's all I ever hear. Oh, you need a soul to be alive. Okay, well, show me how. Because on my channel, I'm starting to prove the opposite. The idea is organic portals are part of a group soul, and a soul is, an informational sort of base, a highly compressed format, and spirits incarnate on behalf of soul. So you have spiritless humans. They're self-soulless, they're only part of a 2D group soul. Yeah, you're going to have to understand the dimensions. Because evolution is not just, forward in the third dimensional mechanical world or the physical reality. It's into higher strata. Upward organizational principle of the universe. Evolution is involution. It's not just change of phenotypy and physical morphology. I'm sad, I'm annoyed, I'm angry. I'm all those things. But now is not the time for this, over-emotionalism. Yes, feel. Feel, because if you're alive, you feel. You are emotional. You're not a dead person, a zombie, an organic portal soulless human. They don't feel the same. They don't have empathy the same. They don't show compassion the same. Start differentiating, because I'm doing it on my channel. You need to do it in your life so that you can navigate for you. You didn't come here to live for anybody else. You came here to live for you. Now, I do believe that we are, in a way, waking up these organic portals, because the natural evolution is into higher strata, from the 2D unconscious flat to the 3D seed point of sovereignty, the ego perspective that any animal has, humans included, seed point of sovereignty. Do you see how we're working kind of backwards in a way, upward dimensionally? It starts. Isn't it funny that the robots are like this too? It starts physical and then intelligence is inserted, seemingly. No, it's that we come from intelligence, we're facing backwards down into physical reality and to the Big Bang, the wall, as I call it. And actually, I call this the forward-backward asymptotic model. You know, we're being pulled from the future, not pushed from nowhere, out of no reason, from the past. Anyway, what was I even saying? I don't know where I was just now. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's taken me aback too. You know, there was a time I went to Mooloolaba Primary School in Sunshine Coast, Australia, and there was a time where I was standing on the oval, and I was, I think, 12 years old, and I had this spiritual epiphany moment. I froze. We were running around playing some game, as kids do, and I froze and realized, what is going on here? This is stupid. I realized, why are they so different? This is what happened. This is the thought that came into my mind. Why are they so different from me? Why are they running around like chickens without heads, like unconscious? So I was 12 years old and I realized that depth. And I realized one day, this was the next thought that came. One day this is all going to have to change. The feeling was of the apocalypse, is what I'm trying to tell you. And now it's here. Now, now you can see the planet raging, the universe changing. I discuss all this in detail in my videos on my channel. Please share this video with people so that they can understand how this all fits in. And then you get the ignorant people play the music in the background. I don't know if you can hear that, but all they want to do is relax, because they're going to walk themselves into self-destruction. I'm talking here where I am. If you can't hear the music, they just started blaring music, because they listen to me incessantly until they realize I'm not doing anything wrong. I know what they think I'm doing. I must be sneaking someone in here and talking to someone. I couldn't possibly be talking to myself. What a crazy guy. No, I'm talking to YouTube. You're going to see all my videos on the gang stalking at this camping ground. It's been ridiculous. Anyway, share this video. So, you know, this is just another, obviation, sign of the times, whatever you want to call it. First time that Victoria has declared a state of disaster. That's interesting. First time ever. I mean, the country's only 200-something years old, but still. You know, it's said all the planets are heating up, not just Earth. So this is the higher universal plan, and that's why you shouldn't panic, because it's not the plan of the Illuminati. The Illuminati aren't in control. No secret societies are really in control. The universe is in control. We like to say that nobody is in control, because that's the truth. So what do we do? What's happening? Well, what is all this? Well, we just had the eschaton, which was a time where people like myself were lifted. You're gonna have to admit it. Oh, you're so arrogant. No, this is just what happened. It's the eschaton at the end of history. That was from 2007 with 2012 at the center, and it was a vortex, and you felt it going into it like a trip, like a psychedelic going up. And then after 2012, you felt the energy come back down into body, into earth, the come down from the trip, yeah? 2007 to 2017 was this eschatonal vortex. From 2012 to 2019, we've just now finished the tribulation period. Once again, I'm not religious. I just understand all this stuff because I'm a doctor of nature as a shaman. Oh, he's a fake shaman, am I? There's no such thing as a fake shaman. There's shitty shamans that are crappy. Like the only person who has a hate video about me on the internet calls herself a shaman. She ain't sharing nothing. Shah is to usher. That's why the proper shaman is always ushering in the new era. Hello, my name's Benjamin Cowenberg. Will you see me while I'm alive, or will it take you so long to see me, you only admit what you had once I die? Don't make that mistake again that we all made, not me, but that most people made with all of the greats who came through history. By the way, that's what there is to do now. We don't look at all the crap in the world today. We are going to look back. Only the great men from history will make the new world. Only the indigos, the in the id, in the higher self go people like Victor Schauberger with his implosion device techniques. These type of people are the only people who matter now. Nobody else matters because you all forfeited yourself. You forfeited your perspective. You forfeited, you're not a player, you're an NPC. So you have to sit on the sidelines and watch now. So that's what there is to do. That's all there is to do. Recover what we looked over. To fix this mess, we're going to have to get intelligent. We can't keep walking the same stupid ways that we're walking. I'm not going to give you 10 million examples. If you don't know what I mean, you don't belong on this channel, that's for sure. This stuff is all very obvious, and I don't know how you've missed it. But yeah. Oh, here we go. All the people come down to distract. This is what organic portals are like. As soon as you're in a high... You hear it? As soon as you're in a high vibration, that's how it always happens. It's always this way. So, you just get the continual distractions. Yes, kids can be organic portals. Believe it. Believe it, kids can be organic portals too. So I just want to let you know this is how they always act, and they've got the music blaring suddenly. When things get serious, the soulless humans run. How do you know they have a soul? Well, because they're children. Because they're innocent. These naiveties, they're not going to last the apocalypse, my friends. You're all going to have to grow up. No more stupidity. It's 2020, I said that. 2019, I made a video called 2020, Enough of Stupid. Because I'm a shaman and I'm channeling, the universe. I channel the energy as it comes into the universe. I see the signs of the times. That's my job as a shaman. Because you're all too busy acting like children, having fun. Yes, it's all just, all just lackadaisical. You don't have to do anything. The universe will do everything for you. Aren't you about to find out something different? The tone of the apocalypse is going to smack you up. Not once, not twice, but endlessly. You got 60 more years, and we've only just entered real true apocalypse energy because the eschaton's finished. People have been chosen, the way showers. We've been risen, we've been shown, we've been taught. Then you had the tribulation, which was, to me, tribulation means the picking and choosing and the tribulating, the thinking, the earth mind thought. It's not Benjamin's decision. Not even me as shaman walking crystal in the time of crystal quantum computers. Just saying. You're going to see endless synchronicity from me. Oh, I'm not trying to say like I'm divine, but if I lived 2,000 years ago, I would have been like a god king. Make sure you realize that. But these days, people are so far gone, I can't even say I'm intelligent, or they call you arrogant. All these naiveties, all these ignorances, they're dead in the water. So if you hold on to it, what do you think you're going to be? You're going to be dead in the water. That's my message to you. However much pain you endure during the apocalypse will be exactly proportional to how dependent, how attached you are systemically. So you better pump the music like these guys and have your last bit of fun. It's almost all over. By 2030, in the next 10 years, you're going to be sitting there with a horror look on your face. I'll guarantee you, you'll be in horror at some point. Isn't it interesting? Those kids just came down here to scream. They turned on the music after they were listening to me, those people up there. They turned on the music, then the kids came down to scream. Everybody on my channel, you need to like the video right now because you know exactly what's going on with that. This is the gang stalking of these morons up here. They're morons. They don't have souls. They are part of a 2D group soul. That's why they can't think for themselves. And no, you can't look to them for the answers out. Only the indigos, the in the id, higher self goes, are going to make the future. The rest of you are NPCs. Even if you have a soul, you're an NPC because you chose not to play. You chose to play their game. Go to work, make money. You chose it. I avoided it the entire time. I've had like a handful of jobs in my entire life. I'm 35. Yeah, and I've only ever held a job for like 6 months. I've been out of work most of my life. I'm a proper shaman. I was in nature. I didn't need that crap. I didn't need to buy a million iterations of the same phone and waste, the bones of this dying world. The elites have made, their space kingdom. Have you seen that? It's called the Garthia, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Elysium, the movie. For real. Wake up. Your kids aren't going to space. Your kids are only slaves, and the meek, which does mean weak, are going to inherit the earth. Because the strong, the earth, what it's doing is instilling itself in people like me and then shooting us off. Because it realizes our star, our sun, has a limited time. Maybe the sun is not as healthy as some of you think it is. The earth, the mushrooms, gave this message to Terence McKenna even. The Time Wave Zero guy. We had Terence, we had Buddha, we had Christ. They all came. Hortatory preaching didn't do anything. Now comes the action via the earth. Not my decision, not the government's decision, the earth's decision. What is he even doing down here? I don't even understand. These little nitwits. As soon as you raise your energy or get serious, you will be gang stalked. I call gang stalking frequency stalking. Gang stalking is permitted unconsciously and is acted out unconsciously. Some of them are aware of their role. Most of them seem not to understand what they're doing because it's frequency stalking. Where I have a high energy vibration, they will come and they have to be in that area and leave their own low vibrational snail trail. Anyway, let's not get into all that. It's time to wake up. It's wake up time, kids. Kids of Earth, you're the children of this earth. And it knows where you are every second of every day via your blood energy signature. You're within the womb, the atmosphere of Earth. Yeah, this is the birth. Yeah, it's happening. It's not just prophecy or fantastical stories. I know, it's hard even for me. But yeah, it's really happening. You see it, right? I mean, what numbers do you need? Do you need literally 6 billion people to die and then you sit there at the end of the day and go, oh, okay, Ben was right, it's the apocalypse, all right. What do you guys need? I'm asking you. I'd like a comment below. What would you need as a sign of the apocalypse if you think it is not the apocalypse? To me, it's very clear that it is. What would you need? What do you need? What do you need to see? Do you need to see 5 billion people die? Is that where your mind is at? Because then what you're operating under is a massive cognitive dissonance, and it's massive. Yeah, I'm sad, it's annoying people just looking the other way, because the thing is we do live in a universe which is abundant compared to our world consumption energy figures. And we're in a scarcity-based system. In an abundant universe, we have decided to play a scarcity-based system game. If that isn't ridiculous, you're going to have to tell me what is more ridiculous than that. The truth is, there is enough for everybody to live in a perfect world. Because we have abundance, all we have to do is go get it. So you figure out a little spaceship and you go to the moon and you mine the moon or whatever, some asteroid, 4 types of water. What do you need? There's a whole planet made of diamond. Diamond's a girl's best friend. Well, there you go, love. There's a whole planet that's a diamond. Have fun. We've got everything we need in this universe. We can create heavy elements, blah, blah, blah. Fusion, all this business, implosion drives. Victor Schauberger already came, and he's gone. Terence McKenna already came and gone. Are you going to let it be the same with Benjamin Kauenberg, is my question to you today. Do you mourn the dead more than you cherish the living? If you do, I call you out and I call you an idiot. I call you stupid and all those names. Or I call you ridiculous, the whole list. Because all you have is what there is now. You don't have what's in the past, because that's the past. Oh, here they come, look, again. This is the juggling dude, by the way. You'll hear from another video. I don't know what you need to know that if you think that you're going to be able to avoid this. I call you the ignorant. You're ignoring the signs of the times. You're ignoring what is happening now. And, with gang stalking, when you see these things where it's like every little situation is innocent, if you see it as innocent and you wish it away, you dismiss it, which is pushing out the information, then you're going to miss all the lessons of gang stalking. It's the same with the apocalypse. 500 million mammals dying in Australia, a plume cloud larger than Europe. I mean, Yellowstone volcano could go at any time in America. Then will you say it's the apocalypse? When? I'm wondering, what signs do you guys need? For me, I already predicted it coming from age 12 just by seeing how unconscious people were and that's unsustainable. I was 12 years old. I said, there's got to be, something's coming. Because this is not, I can't see this happening forever. That was my basic thoughts when I was 12. And here we are, it's called the apocalypse. That's why I studied all this so in depth, I haven't even read the Bible, by the way. Didn't even read it. Drew dicks in the Bible class. Because I was in grade 5. I was 10 years old and I realized, what are you doing? Proselytizing me at 10 years old? I'm not interested. I'm going to go outside and play. And so what I would do is draw a dick. They'd send me out of the classroom and we'd be outside playing, me and my friend Tim. So this guy coming now, for anyone who watches my channel, is the juggler guy, and actually is in... I don't even want to go into it. They all know each other here, they're communists, and it's funny when they started the music when I make this video, and then the kids come down, and now he comes down as well, the worker. Isn't that funny? All on the one video, fantastic. Such is my synchronicity when I have the balls to keep the camera on. Tell you what, we're going to get some amazing footage on this channel. I'm importing spy cameras up the yin yang. Already ordered a spy pen. We're going to get every spy device there is. I promise, that's my promise to you as a way to reel you in and say, yeah, the channel's going to be cool. You're going to see some cool videos. I don't care about the law. Oh, you can't show people's face. Can't show the truth. Must censor reality. That's what I say to your censoring of reality. I'm going to purge all the way through it. Don't care. Take me to the court. I'm going to be there with spy devices up my arse if that's what it takes. So subscribe, because this channel is going to get very interesting. Because as this apocalypse, as the collapse happens, people are going to go crazy. People are going to go haywire. It's not just going to be protesting. People are going to get desperate. They're going to need food. Yeah, that's why you had all these doomsday preppers Actually, I shot a video on that. You shouldn't be stocking canned food. You should be stocking things like superfood, so you actually have nutrition to last. What's my main piece of advice? I'm going to end this because, I mean, I can go on this angrily all day. And no, I'm not just speaking from anger. I know I've got a little bit of annoyed tone and anger in the background. It's definitely not where I'm speaking from. You know, yes, I've been annoyed in the video and I've talked in that tone, but you know, in a higher fashion, you know, I've spoken from my heart, spoken from my gut, and spoken from the crystal room, the top Dan Gen, the third eye. Yeah, my gut told me at 12 years old, this can't go on, it's not sustainable. These people running around unconscious like this, pretending that there is no evolution to the universe. I mean, the robots are here, guys, they're here. The robots are speaking now. I don't know, maybe some of you Zoomer generation, the young kids don't get that. When I was younger, you know, you didn't have what we have now. You don't have Hanson Robotics 20 years ago, you know, with Sophia and Han and all this, and connecting them up to a literal hive mind, and then Google employees talking about brain syncing and inserting chips into people's brains so we can create a literal hive mind. And you're going to tell me that there's not soulless humans? Well, I say you can't see the universe. That's how the universe is working. Everything pre-2012 was universe 1, and what's happening is now what we're getting is adumbrations in a simulacra form. That means a higher, upgraded copy. That's what a simulacrum is. A simulacrum means a copy that's a higher, new neo-fashion. It's not the same thing, but if you understand the theory of resonance that the time wave zero introduced, you'll understand that it's somehow the same thing. The form won't be the same, but I mean, somehow imaginatively, in a higher space, in a higher domain, it's the same thing rolling through the universe. It's why hemlines of females' dresses are rising and falling. Oh, that just made me think of something. Here's a quote. Hemlines of dresses are rising and falling at the rate empires rose and fell. Sorry, to the beat that empires long ago rose and fell. That's the theory of resonance we found out from the time wave zero from Terence McKenna. I mean, we had Christ, we had Terence, we had Victor Schauberger, we had them all, but you didn't listen. And now comes the part where if you didn't listen, you're not lined up. Okay? So certain lines of energy, you might think of them as bloodlines and families, will not be given energy anymore. They'll be dead in the water. Maybe one day they wake up and their house is burnt down. A la today's example. 2,100 homes burned in Sydney and Victoria in Australia. So back to this quote, and I think I'm going to end it there almost after I say my final piece of advice for the apocalypse. God, I don't know what I'm going to say yet, but I can feel something bubbling. So, you know, when I said hemlines are rising and falling to the beat that empires rose and fell long ago, what I thought about was the ripped jeans trend. You know how there's all these hip people now, so hip, so fashionable, wearing ripped jeans? It used to be the opposite, you know, you want nice, clean looking clothes. I think it's, you know, a little bit of a rebellious trend and stuff, but well, here's what I want to say. It's the apocalypse. There's going to be more homeless people on the planet than you've ever seen before or even imagined could be. Maybe half the world's population is going to be homeless. Check the video I just showed you. Everybody went in Australia, all the people who lost their homes went to the beach. The whole beach was filled. Good. I can live in the bush soon. Like I want to, away from you all, because you're all sick. And I know you're sick because the water is sick, the salt is sick, the sugar is everywhere, and that makes you sick. So you can't deny it. I'm not a fool, I can see. So, this rip trend of genes has made me realize that's the trend of the apocalypse. In the hemline, you see it? Just for anyone who can understand this. Amazing, right? Yeah, it brings a tear to the eye. It makes you realize that time wave zero really is real. I experienced all this. I've talked about this on my channel. My final piece of advice for the apocalypse. It would have to be at least a paragraph or an essay, right? Don't know if I can summarize it in one quote, in one sentence, guys. I didn't pre-plan this video, so let me see what I have. Well, as a final piece, I would suggest growing food, plants, because we eat food. You get it? Or was that very difficult? Well, it seems difficult because none of you are doing it. Must be too difficult to comprehend. Oh, grow food plants because we eat food. Put plant in ground, plant grow. You got, this Mr. Beast YouTube channel now, 20 million trees planted, except they're not food plants. Oh, yippee-yi-ki-yay. So, my final piece of advice for the apocalypse is to listen carefully. If I'm to summarize it, not to me, to nature. Nature is not mute. If you think nature is mute, it's you who is mute. My final piece of advice is that you listen to nature. So signs of the times, apocalyptic signs, that's a sign. That's nature speaking to you. That's my bit of advice. Oh, it's very simple, but actually it's the most complex answer I could give, I just realized, because, what's more complex than nature and the universe? No man-made system yet. So it's both the most simple... Oh, I just realized it's coincidentia oppositorum. Oh my God, yep. Isn't that... And we're in maximum novelty domain too. Coincidentia oppositorum, the union of opposites. So I've given you my final piece of advice for dealing with the apocalypse and making it through and so on. And I don't know, not just making it through yourself, but creating a better world and all that business, right? Is, listen to nature. That's my final bit of advice. But do you realize that's coincidentia oppositorum? Because it's 3 words, the most simple sentence, but it's actually very complex to do. You have to be very, very quiet. You have to be, go inside yourself and basically go from this to melting into nature. From the ego-hardened ball to melting into nature. So it's actually a difficult process. So, but that's my final piece of advice, guys. I am the only Benjamin Cowlenberg from consciousazine.net. Love more.